Hi, JD here from the instituteofwow.com. I just thought I'd touch base with whoever might be owning a business and might be wanting to increase sales, and suggest to you that you might like to take a leaf out of a few clients of ours book, and that is create a theme. It's amazing how many people will hold, well, I should say sales or events, but they don't theme them. And on the weekend, I actually did a Facebook Live from Sanctuary Cove, which is a village, well, it's a community, but they have a Sanctuary Cove shopping village here on the Gold Coast, and it was empty. So I decided to grab my camera and turn it on, and I showed the empty streets. Let me just show you, that looked like this. Okay. I had a bit of a gag. I think I stood in front of one of those buggies that do about 5 kilometres an hour, and I pretended like the Austin Powers movie where they're going to kill me, they're going to run over me. But that was about the fastest thing that was moving in Sanctuary Cove on Saturday morning. It's just tragic. They have a fantastic shopping village there, but of course it's empty. And what happened, I got 2,200 views of that Facebook Live, because I think it actually hit a chord with people. I think people realised, hang on, there's something here, because I told them the crazy thing was that Sanctuary Cove, who basically have empty streets that look like that at the moment, had the management had contacted me some time ago and said, look, is there any chance you can help us? And I said, yeah, sure, okay. So I got for a meeting, and I said to them, you've got a boat show each year that you have 50,000 people come to, so it's pretty successful. People come from all around Australia to go to the International Boat Show at Sanctuary Cove. Why don't you then appeal to those same upmarket people who've got $1 and have an international prestige car show? So you'd have your Bentleys and your Mercedes and your Rolls Royces and so forth. And they went, wow, okay, that's a good idea. And I said, better still, why don't you have a wine and beer festival in the main street? So I'll whack on the street again so you can see what I'm talking about. That's what Sanctuary Cove looks like. I'll show you the, where is it? Oh no, I thought I had an aerial shot layout of Sanctuary Cove. Sanctuary Cove is a village community, well, it's a gated community with very wealthy people living inside, and they have this particular village which is full of restaurants and boutiques. The thing is, though, is that for the most part, that village is empty. You don't find too many people in there. And when I was there on Saturday morning, I showed that with my camera, showing that that village was empty. And the reason I believe it's empty is because they don't follow up on what they've done successfully, and that is the International Boat Show. They have 50,000 people come from all over Australia and locally to go to the Sanctuary Cove Boat Show. And guess what? They haven't thought about following that up with an equally sexy theme, like the International Motor Car Show, for example, or might be the International Orchids Festival. I suggested to them, why don't they keep the restaurants in Sanctuary Cove's village really happy by making it snow every night? And they went, what? I said, particularly in the winter time, June, July, make it snow. They said, how do you make it snow at night? I said, look, basically there's a company in Melbourne who provides a machine that pumps out biodegradable soap suds, and when they hit the ground in Sanctuary Cove, or anywhere for that matter, they disappear. So it's not like confetti where you've got to clean it up the next morning after the wedding. In this instance, people were there with their iPhones taking pictures of it snowing on the Gold Coast, and it's nothing to clean up the next morning. If you had snowing in Sanctuary Cove every night at 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock, the restaurants would be giving you, the management of Sanctuary Cove, a bear hug, because you'd be packing the streets with people filming with their iPhones the fact that it's snowing in Sanctuary Cove, and very, very cost effective. I couldn't tell you exactly what it would cost for Sanctuary Cove to do it, but it'd be very cost effective. And then I said, why don't you have an Oktoberfest? And so on the ideas went. And the lady who was running the management of the Sanctuary Cove village at the time said to me, oh, these are all great ideas, but I think we'll fill the half a dozen empty shops before we do it. I said, don't you think that this might be a way that you would get people interested in taking out tenancies? That you've got people coming there? So anyway, look, as it turned out, I ended up going into Surfers Paradise on, what day was it? It must have been the same day, Saturday afternoon. And I have to show you someone who's got the theme right. This launched in the middle of Surfers Paradise on the weekend, and it's a brand new Asian street food precinct, and it's called Chop Chop. What a great name. And I've got it on my screen here. Just a fantastic name, and that opened on Sunday in Surfers Paradise. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because they've got a great theme now. They've got a few empties in there, and I think they'll have problems with it in about 3 or 4 months if they don't contact someone like me to help them market it, because I really think that they've done a great job. When you walk through that arcade, it's very Asian, it's street food. It's like as if you were in Hong Kong and you were walking through the markets. It's very well done, but there's a few empties, and they've got to fill those empties pretty quickly, because if you have a retail precinct like this, which is an arcade that goes next to the Hilton Hotel in Surfers Paradise, if you have a retail precinct like this and you don't get shops filled very quickly, it'll quickly grow, the disease will quickly grow, okay, because you'll find that other restaurants and cafes will probably fall over because people want to go into a shopping precinct which is full. I wanted to show you something else whilst I've got these things up, and that is theming in another way. This happens to be a business in Sydney some years ago that asked me if I could help them, and it was a tall ship company, and they had a couple of these old Captain Cook boats, and they basically said to me, look, we're running at 50% occupancy, we're taking seniors out on trips throughout the harbour, and we're not full. I said, well, sounds pretty boring to me, what do you do? And they said, oh, we take them to Goat Island and they stop off and have a look at the convict village, and basically they have a nice time and a cup of tea and scones, and they come back. And I said to them, when they come back, is anybody still alive? This sounded like it was the most boring Sydney harbour cruise I've ever seen. And they said, no, we lose a few. So anyway, I said, oh, look, this is easy to fix, but are you willing to widen the funnel? And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, instead of just seniors being attracted to go out on Sydney Harbour for like a Devonshire tea, how about we turn this into something that will attract families? Because if we broaden the funnel, then you'll get 4 tickets instead of 2. And they said, yeah, sure. And I said, good, let's fix it right now. So bang, I said, have you ever heard of Johnny Depp? And they went, yeah. I said, good. Have you ever heard of Pirates of the Caribbean? They said, yeah. I said, good. We're going to turn your 2 Captain Cook ships that are half empty at the moment into pirate ships. And it's going to be Attack of the Pirates on Sydney Harbour. And you watch what happens in terms of attracting children and adults to this, which means you'll get 4 or 5 or 6 tickets a time instead of just 2 from seniors. And thankfully the owner of this business was very entrepreneurial, but he didn't have a lot of these sorts of ideas, and his jaw dropped when he heard this idea. He went, oh, well, that's a winner. And I said, good, let's go. So as it turned out, you wouldn't believe God was watching, because there was an amateur theatre company that was producing a pirate show in Mossman in Sydney, but didn't have anywhere to put it on. So luckily we found out who they were. We asked them would they like to put the pirate show on the boat, and let me show you what happened. I'll show you the actual transformation. Let me turn it around and I'll play the TV ad for you, which jammed this particular business. Now, the end result of that was that when we promoted Attack of the Pirates on Sydney Harbour, his turnover in the first 12 months went from just over 10 to $15 million. Okay, so he paid me a few $1,000s a month for my private coaching, and he went up from 10 to $15 million and subsequently sold the business. So he was a pretty happy camper. And the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because theming is what you need to think of if you're going to be attracting people to your business, online or offline. And let me show you in terms of the online world. I've got a website comparison study here that I want to show you. Let me just flip the screen. This happens to be a business that produces pool slides. And you'll see here on the left, this is what their website used to look like, and this is what we did. We themed it into a Waterworld sort of format, okay, like a Wet n Wild. And I'll show you a close-up in a minute. You're not quite seeing the transformation there, but you'll see how boring this was. This is a water slide business that gives you water slides for your pool, your backyard pool. And this is what we turned it into. Let me just enlarge it for you. So as I'll bring this down, okay, so I'll show you the before. I'll just scroll through. You'll see up the top of it, it says the pool slide guys, and then it just shows you a few of the pools, okay? And then as we come down the page, you'll see a few more pools, and as we come down the page, and that's about it. And my noise effect, or my sound effect for that particular page would be... So let me just swing across as he shows off to the after, and this is what, give me a second, I'll just reduce that a little, okay? So therefore, you'll see what it looks like afterwards. Basically what we did is that we turned it into a theme park. So we said, transform your backyard into a water park. So we've taken a theme and we've said, look, instead of like across here, which was pretty lame, pretty boring, we've turned it into that. And of course we gave people the opportunity to win $50,000 if they got their pool water slide by a particular time. And as we scroll down that page, you'll see we showed the various options that they had. We had a welcome video here, which was pretty exciting. And you'll see the imagery is all
families having fun. We actually had a free report in there, so for any fence sitters that were not sure whether or not they'd buy a slide, I should say, we said the 5 reasons why a water slide will improve the relationship with your children. That's a bit corny. I can't believe I wrote that, but anyway, I think I might have been smoking some of that funny stuff at the time. But anyway, you'll see there, look at the big difference of the before and after. So that's what it used to look like, and that's what happens when you add a theme to it. And the reason I'm giving this is because really at the end of the day, it is as simple as theming. We know that the big retail periods throughout the year, which is Mother's Day and Father's Day and Christmas and Easter and summer and winter and grand final times and so on and so forth, retailers are pretty smart when it comes to actually using themes to sell a lot of stuff. And if you are in the game of selling stuff, maybe not services, it's a little bit difficult for me, for example, when I'm selling what's between my ears here, in terms of marketing advice, to theme things. I understand that because really at the end of the day, we're not selling a retail or product or a widget. But if you're selling widgets, then you can certainly do what I've just shown you here, whether it be pirate themes or whether it be the theme park, water park theme, or whether it just be maybe a grand final theme because something's coming up. You know what Santa Claus is? Free. If you have to get Mickey Mouse to, basically endorse your product, you'll pay Disney a lot of money. Santa Claus is free, and yet I cannot believe it when I see a lot of people pumping out Christmas ads, but they're not using a free endorser like Santa Claus. There's a whole bunch of stuff. The Easter Bunny's free too, by the way. I was only talking to him yesterday. He said he's free. Guys, if you like what you hear here, or what you're seeing here, do me a favour and say something nice below. And if you like this and you would like me to pop in front of you with more of these marketing ideas from time to time, then just press the like button, because that means that my stuff will pop up in front of you. And if you're not doing this Facebook Live stuff yourself, then you ought to think about doing it. It's been an experiment that we've been playing with just in recent times, and it's nuts. It is nuts, and it's free. The good thing about this is that it's free. So if you're not doing that, then you might like to learn how to do it. And I show you that in a webinar that we have, which you'll see the link for above. And if you're interested in learning how to do this Facebook Live stuff and how to just get your head around this direct response stuff, then you might like to click the link above, which is wowmysales.com. There's no AU, it's just wowmysales.com. And if you go there, you'll see there's a 60-minute webinar. You can stop and start and go away and come back to it. Basically, it's not a live webinar, it's one that I've recorded, so you can watch it straight away. There's none of this rubbish about registering now and then we'll annoy you with 3,000 emails to say that it's coming up on Thursday night. I think those days are gone. We're all pretty time poor at the moment and we want to binge watch everything. So if you'd like to pick up these tips right now, you can go straight there, wowmysales.com. You can watch 10 minutes or 20 minutes of it and then come back and watch the rest later on. It's all about direct response marketing, and it covers things like what I've just spoken about here, themes. And if you're lacking a marketing plan at the moment. In fact, let me see, what was it here? If you don't have in your business, I know this is back to front, but it doesn't matter. If you don't have in your business a marketing plan that goes through online and offline marketing tactics so that you can attract people to your website, so that you can actually run Facebook ads that have got some measurability to them, so you can actually promote yourself on Instagram or direct mail or email marketing or text messaging and all those wonderful things that I just rambled on very, very quickly. If you don't have any of that happening in your business life and you want to know how to do it, then yeah, do yourself a favour and click that link above and watch this webinar, which is down to earth. There's a few dad jokes, I'm warning you, okay, but there's a lot of great content in there. And one other thing, and that is that we're having on Wednesday, every single Wednesday at 12 noon, a JD marketing show. And it goes for about an hour, and it's on 12 noon Queensland time every Wednesday. And you might like to, have a look at that. It comes up this Wednesday, so there's 2 days' time, okay? And it is at 12 noon Queensland time, so that's 1 p.m. New South Wales or Victoria. And it's an hour worth of this stuff in terms of showing you how to develop a website that sells, how to create leads through Facebook and Instagram advertising, how to actually get free publicity, and so on and so forth. It's pretty cram-packed with lots and lots of content. So if you'd like to watch that, then just put below, JD, I would like a reminder for the Wednesday marketing show. Okay, it's 12 noon Queensland time, but if you type below, I would like a reminder, then what we'll do is it will actually private messenger you about half an hour out from it to say JD is going to go live in half an hour's time. Because I know life gets in the way, what we do is we say have lunch with JD, so go and get your egg and lettuce sandwich, and you can eat that whilst you're watching my show at 12 noon Queensland time. It has to be egg and lettuce. We won't let anyone watch it unless you're eating egg and lettuce, okay? That's the rules. And we will not have anyone watching it whose name is Beryl or Esme. And the reason why is because I've never met an interesting Beryl or Esme. So if your name is Beryl or Esme, you have to change it before 12 noon
on Wednesday. I'm joking, all right? Okay, guys, over and out. Again, if you'd like to learn more about this direct response stuff, click the link above. And then at the end of that, if you like what you see, then you can always contact us and, yeah, have a chat of how we can help you put together a marketing plan for your business. Over and out.